What is up, YouTube? It's RSMario here, bringing you one of my favorite shows on the entire channel, Fake Leak Theater. Alright, so this is a show that, if you don't know, we go over fake leaks. Usually it's for Pokemon games, but since Pokemon Legends Arceus is already out, which I did stream this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, and I will be streaming pretty much every weekend until I get the hang of streaming. Then I might start streaming more, but so far I will be streaming every weekend right here on this channel. I might even try to throw some more games in there, but yeah, we look at fake leaks for popular Nintendo games, Zelda, Fire Emblem, Pokemon, and whatnot. And this week we have another Breath of the Wild 2 fake leak. Now, I am pretty sure that this is fake, but from the little bit I've read, it does seem interesting enough that I wanted to cover it on this show. So let's do this. So we have so this came from Reddit, and it says so I know this is 99% fake, but it was interesting, and I figured it should be documented just in case it turned out to be real later, which some of these do. I'm gonna have to go back and just look at how many things that I looked at on this show and with other leak coverage, and I was like, it was fake and it turned out to be real. I'm willing to go ahead and be like, yeah, I was wrong on that. So the reason that Link doesn't have the Master Sword in Breath of the Wild 2 is that Link returned it to Kokiri Forest, which is now floating in the sky, which, I mean, that could be interesting. I don't remember if he had it in the trailer or not. I don't think he did, but that would be kind of interesting. I can kind of see that happening. I mean, because if the only reason he would need the Master Sword is because of Ganon or Ganondorf, and if they aren't a problem, then he doesn't need to hold the Master Sword. Just put it back where it was. And more than likely, they probably didn't go underground looking for Ganondorf. They just happened to find him. So yeah, that's plausible. Game difficulty is the same, no harder or easier. Which, I mean, sometimes Breath of the Wild was hard, but that last battle was pretty much like all the other boss battles in the game. More traditional dungeons, as well as a replacement for shrines, which are even older ruins located in all over the overworld, which I think is pretty cool if that's the case. One thing a lot of Zelda fans wanted was the return of OG dungeons, like original style dungeons. I can see that being a thing in this game. Setup is like the first game with more dramatic intro. Okay. Mostly the same enemies with some evolutions. Music is simple but sounds out of tune. That's a weirdly specific thing to put in there. So the music is simple but sounds like it's out of tune. Now, of course, that could be for a specific reason. Like, it's out of tune because, it's something involving Ganondorf, something evil, so the music sounds weird as a way to make you even more uncomfortable. But it just sounds like a weird thing to put in there. Just that, oh, the music's out of tune. Okay, I mean, the new underground enemies can play around with time mechanics. This would be really cool if that's in the game. Alright, I mean, that would be cool if there was some enemies that could do some similar things to you, or if even the bosses could do it. Like if Ganondorf can mess around with time like you can, that will make some of the boss fights like even more interesting, because I mean, you having these inalienable abilities that nobody else has kind of puts you apart. It sets you apart. You just smoke anybody. Items still have the same durability, but there are some enemies that have time reversal mechanic that ends up with your weapons healing each time you strike them. But that's not really a time reversal. Can that, I mean, that's interesting. That's kind of broken, but I mean, it would be interesting. You have to find a way. Maybe you have to throw a potion at them, kind of like undead enemies in some RPGs. Like the only way to kill them is to throw a potion at them, or or maybe there's a specific type of weapon that heals instead of damages. So it's kind of more of a strategy. Like if you're going into this one dungeon where there's going to be these weird undead enemies, that you're going to have to take your holy sword or your healing saber or whatever. I can see that. That would be pretty cool, but I don't know. The plot revolves around time manipulation and another dimension. I mean, that's kind of par for the course with Zelda. I mean, other dimensions and time travel, that's kind of par for the course. The green arm motif is a motif for courage. Arm is the last power from a sage that gives you new mechanics. So this is interesting. Now green, like, I mean, I can definitely see that. I mean, because the Triforce is three things, right? It's power, wisdom, and courage. Power was represented by Ganon and the Calamity and all that other kind of stuff. Of course, wisdom was represented by Zelda, and courage is usually represented by Link, but there was no representation for him in that game as far as the powers go, because his powers were connected to the Sheikah Slate. So I could definitely see them doing that. Zelda plays a role in character swap mechanics. She is in another dimension, and you have to switch characters for puzzles to influence the regular Hyrule overworld and vice versa. Lots of teamwork between Zelda and Link. This is cool. I dig this idea. I like the idea in the other video I did better, where there are two different versions of the game, where it's like you've got more of the Breath of the Wild stuff with Zelda, and then Link has more of the OG Zelda stuff. But this is actually pretty interesting too. I know that there are people who don't like the idea of you being able to play as Zelda at all, and I understand that. As a Pokemon purist, I'm kind of like, I'm kind of side-eyeing all these people. They're like, yeah, I don't want to go back to the old school Pokemon games. I want to play Legends Arceus forever. I'm like, yeah, okay, homie. So I understand how people cannot, like, can be kind of purist. So I get that. I get it. But I do think this is interesting, though. It's too interesting of a mechanic to not at least think about. Zelda has the Sheikah Slate, no real combat for her from what was played, mostly stealth and puzzle solving for Zelda. No gear, inventory, just materials and quests. So this would be interesting, but it would be kind of cool because she has powers though. She's got, like, technically she has she has this world's version of the Triforce. So I mean, having her use powers would be cool. Like, having her learn, like, abilities, like, she could be more of a magic based character, you know what I'm saying, instead of, whereas Link is more like run up and beat the shit out of somebody, she can be more of, like, fighting from a distance, kind of like she is in Smash Brothers, you know what I'm saying. Like, if you ever played with Zelda in Smash Brothers, she's more of a distance, a mid-range to long-range character, which, I mean, it would be cool. Like, I mean, but this kind of works too. This way she doesn't overshadow Link. Link only uses the new powers from the sages, while Zelda uses the Sheikah Slate. Okay, yeah, we kind of get that. Lots of Ocarina of Time references, of course, is OOT. Identity of the lead sage should satisfy you. So I'm guessing this is going to be another callback character. Maybe it's going to be, what? I wouldn't be surprised if it's probably like, Impa. So surrealist tone. I'm going to be 100%. I'm not quite sure what surrealist means. So we're going to learn today. An artist or writer who is an exponent of the avant-garde movement in art. Okay, that's art. Okay. Relating to avant-garde movement in art literature, which sought to release creative potential. the unconscious mind. So some Salvador Dali, look at this and unlock your brain type of stuff. Okay. So basically it's going to be very artistic. I guess in like writing and tone and stuff like that, which is okay. Kill the Past, story about champions taking the place as the new sages, more traditional Link, Ganon, Zelda plot. Okay. 6 total dungeons. Okay, that's not too bad. Takes place almost immediately after Breath of the Wild, which, I mean, I was kind of hoping if there was like a time jump of like maybe at least a couple years, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you know, a couple years of peace. You know, Zelda and Link are exploring stuff and they're trying to fix Hyrule. I would love to see a slightly rebuilt Hyrule, like, you know, coming back from the calamity. That would be really good, but this works. Never saw Ganon, but from what I saw, from what he saw, he can understand that the undead form of Ganon is invincible, and Link and Zelda have to work to restore Ganon's physical prime form and able to injure him. Bolson dies, now a ghost. He gives hints like Cass in Breath of the Wild. When asked to list 3 things that weren't in the trailers, he replies, "There's lawn mola that are like the size of 2 horses that burrow between sky islands. Double sword weapons." Oh, okay, like double-sided swords or like dual wielded. Like either way, I'm down with it. You know what I'm saying? A power that both slows time and speeds up Link. So kind of like what do you call it? Like what's his name? Like Quicksilver from X-Men. Okay, this sounds interesting. I'll admit that, you know, I'm sure it's probably fake because again, you got to take things with a grain of salt, especially when it comes to 4chan. But it sounds pretty lit though. I mean, it doesn't sound as cool as the last one I did, but this sounds good though. All right, so what do you think? Tell me in the comments down below. Tell me how much you hate the new changes that they want to make possibly to this game. Tell me how much you love it. Tell me how much you hate this series, love this series. Talk to me because I want to talk to you. So of course, like, comment, subscribe, and as always, folks, keep it real and check out my Pokemon streams this weekend.